Hello, everybody. Scotty Sykes here with Sykes and Company. Today, I'm going to talk about the Employee Retention Tax Credit for 2020. There's two credits, or this one credit for 2 years. So you got 2020 credit, a 2021 credit, completely different rules. We're going to focus on the 2020 credit here in this video. So the Employee Retention Tax Credit was passed with the CARES Act about a year ago. Flew under the radar all year because if you got a PPP loan, you weren't eligible for the credit. And 99% of pharmacies out there, per the NCPA poll, had a PPP. So not a lot of attention here until the Consolidated Appropriations Act at the end of 2020 was passed. That's when they said, well, you can retroactively now go back and claim this credit if you had a PPP. So they changed the rules at the end of the year, and now we're taking a look and see how pharmacies can qualify here. The credit amount is up to $5,000 per employee. The wage limit is $10,000 times 50% equals $5,000. So when you add it all up, if you do qualify, this credit can be very significant. So it's important you take a look and see maybe if you do qualify. With that being said, most pharmacies will not qualify, but it's still worth a look because the credit is very significant. To qualify, there's three areas that really pharmacies can qualify. One is a 50% drop in gross receipts quarter over quarter. So you would take maybe 2020 quarter versus a 2019 quarter, maybe Q2 in both examples there, and compare the gross receipts. If you have a 50% drop, not going to qualify. You do qualify if you do have a 50% drop, excuse me. If you don't have the 50%, not going to qualify there. The 50% drop can be due to any reason, does not have to be COVID related at all. So keep that in mind. But again, most pharmacies won't see a 50% drop, but if you do, you probably qualify. Second area is a partial suspension. This is where a non-essential portion of your business, of your pharmacy, say a gift shop or soda fountain, has to close. And you're going to qualify there if that non-essential portion is more than nominal to the business as a whole. More than nominal is defined as greater than 10% gross receipts of that gift shop or soda fountain that was closed down, or greater than 10% of your employee hours that work in that, say, gift shop or soda fountain, then as compared to the hours as a whole in the business. So you would take 2019 as your reference period there. Most pharmacies aren't going to see more than nominal for the gross receipts, because gross receipts in a pharmacy average about $4 million. That's a lot for a soda fountain or a gift shop. But the hours might kick you in, so you need to look at those hours for sure. And then the third area that you could qualify here is a modified partial suspension. That's what I call it. And this is where you have a government order. And again, you have to have a government order for the partial suspension, the modified partial. But this is where a government order says, essential business, you have to stay open, the pharmacy, but you got to adhere to these social distancing guidelines or whatever other requirements maybe that's in the government order. And those requirements require you to alter or change your pharmacy to whatever degree. And if that change or alteration or modification that you had to go through or implement is deemed to be have a more than nominal effect on the business, you may have a qualifier there. And when I say more than nominal effect of the business, there is a definition for that in Notice 2021-20, which you need to reference if you're going to dig into this. But that essentially, to me, when I read it, says an extraordinary event you had to face when facing your requirements to modify your operations due to social distancing, for example. So we're looking for an extraordinary event you had to do. One example was an employee that could not Well, they had to drop an employee because of the social distancing. They couldn't keep the 6 feet. And when you're dropping maybe a technician, that's going to probably have more than a nominal effect. That's an extraordinary circumstance. So, that could be a qualifier there. But there could be several instances where you would qualify. Now, when you're looking at all the credit amount, the calculation, whether you qualify, don't qualify, you have to consider the affiliation rules, which most pharmacy owners own about two and a half, three pharmacies. So you have to take in consideration all your pharmacies that you have an affiliation controlled group with. And furthermore, when we're talking about a modified partial suspension due to requirements for social distancing, for example, those changes can't be voluntary. You have to look at it from a requirement point of view from the government order. So, lot of areas to consider here, a lot of facts and circumstances you have to really dig down deep to understand. But it's worth taking a look, given the significance of this credit, and that you may actually qualify. So, if you have questions, if this is something that maybe you think you had an extraordinary event or you had a soda or gift shop closed down, certainly raise your hand, reach out to us. We'll be happy to uh, listen to your facts and circumstances, help make a determination whether you potentially could qualify here. But we'd be glad to help you out any way we can. Thanks for watching. I'll be back in another video for the credit for 2021. Thanks. Bye.